Welcome to the new series of Talking Hair Loss. We've got 12 people, 12 haircuts, and 12 incredible chats about hair loss. Honest conversations in the barber chair about hair loss, thinning, and receding, with a little bit of advice from me along the way. With new episodes coming every 2 weeks, this is the second series of Talking Hair Loss. And this series is made possible by our sponsor, Manual. All right, guys, welcome back to the Regal Gentleman Studio, and welcome back to series 2 of Talking Hair Loss. Now, today we've got Camille in the chair. How are you doing?
Hey, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
I was traveling from Poland.
Nice.
To have my good, I hope, great haircut. And
I hope
with
so,
my
great.
receding hairline.
Okay. So how can I help you today? What would you like me to do?
I was wearing pompadour or undercut, but I went to the doctor and she said that I should cut off my hair to make it shorter, because my medicine will be easier split on my scalp.
Okay.
And I want to have haircut that can connect good look with practical features.
Okay.
So I was thinking about some kind between French crop or buzz cut, but I think that better, in my opinion, will be French crop for my head and for my beard, for example. Okay. I guess.
Okay. Got a couple of issues to start with. Is your hair is still very short. It's very short in the areas that we don't want it to be short in right now.
Okay.
So what I mean by that is your haircut looks about 4 weeks old, roughly. Am I right?
Yes, I had my last haircut 4 or 5 weeks.
5 weeks, okay.
5 weeks.
When you're going for a new look, you need to skip a haircut. So what I mean by that is, if you want to go for something completely different, most haircuts, the 95% haircuts, you have to grow out. So if you want me to work with your hairline and you want to go for a French crop, for example, you have to grow it past the length you want it to be in to cut it in, because there's loads of things I need to do to emphasize your hairline being stronger.
Okay.
Because if I look at it now, you can see your haircut's been shaved very high, all the way up to the top.
High shaved, yes.
Very, very high.
Okay.
You've got a double crown, and that's just been taken completely off. And then you've got one side longer than the other. I'm not saying it's a bad haircut in the slightest, but I wouldn't do it this way. It's impractical having one side longer than the other, because it means you have to go back every 2 weeks.
And I have problems with comb over, for example, now.
Yeah. It becomes a comb over naturally.
Yes.
You look at the way your hair grows here, right? If you take it to the side, your hair wants to grow forwards like that.
Okay.
Right?
Forwards
and down slightly, right?
Okay.
But what you see is underneath here, you've got no hair, you've got a very short hair underneath here.
Okay.
And then there's no graduation into the top. It's just short, then long.
So we need graduation, yes?
Yes. Okay. Now, the thing is, that ends up becoming this because there's nothing else you can do to make it look right. And then because you're pushing it this way, it emphasizes here.
Yes,
and
then hairline, yes.
Because the hairline is low down the front, like a widow's peak almost, it almost emphasizes the front being more lower down, which then makes this bit look higher. They're the downsides. The upsides, however, are there's enough length through these corners here, especially the thickness of your hairline at the front, so I could make that look a little bit fuller. Where your thickness is still quite low down, right? So as you can see here, it's quite dark still through them bits. Now, I think if you're happy to go for that in-between buzz crop look, it might have to be a bit shorter than maybe what you thought. But what I could do is cut your hairline back quite a bit, which would then strengthen the hairline. The only thing I can't do though is work on the head shape, because the back is so short. Now, at the back, I feel like there might be enough length that if we're going short enough around the edges, I might be able to work with it. But there's bits here now that if I touch that at the back there, that's gonna stand up no matter what. So I'd need to leave all of this length through here. Okay. And just try and use that length as my starting point to then cut it shorter to the front. Because the main thing we can try and do today is strengthen your hairline. As scary as that sounds, going really short here, I promise you will suit it. I promise you it will work.
Okay.
But obviously if you're on medication, however, that will help a lot. Based on the haircut we're working with right now, I think the best haircut we can do for you today will be to do that shorter crop and then just reassess it. and see what you think of it. You know, see if it helps you with your lifestyle, see if it helps with your medication, the topical medication.
So you will do a shorter French crop, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be more like what you originally said, though. It'll be more like the kind of in between a buzz cut and a crop. So yeah. Back and sides. Then, how short would you like to go?
Back and side.
Yeah. How short do you want to take the back and sides?
I think that will start from 3 or 4 millimeters.
4 millimeters?
Here.
It's about a 1.5.
Above the ear.
Okay.
Okay.
So that's about
not zero, of course.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I don't like have 0 because I don't want to have difference, so much difference between my skin, visible skin, scalp at the head, and the rest of my hairstyle.
That's fine by me. Okay. Not a problem at all. All right, bud.
Okay.
Cool, man. Thank you very much, man.
Thanks.
You're very welcome. Can I just say your English is fantastic?
My English is fantastic.
Honestly, mate. Honestly, you I swear to God, nothing to worry about.
Because I've been watching movies about barbering, about hairdresser.
Oh wow!
I'm interested in this topic.
Yeah.
Not as a worker because it's not my main job.
Yeah.
But I think that if I have to choose a second work for me, it will be here.
Well, the beauty of my job is it can be a hobby as well. So thank you to the sponsor of this video and to the series, Manual. And obviously a massive thank you to you. You know, your subscribing, your likes, your amazing comments, and just the full support of Series 1, Talking Hair Loss, has allowed us to create Series 2 of Talking Hair Loss. And thank you to Manual again for helping us bring a taboo subject to the mainstream and letting everyone talk about it and feel good about themselves. So for those of you who don't know already, Manual are a British company dedicated to becoming the destination for men's health. Manual offer tailored and medically approved treatments for a variety of issues specifically for men's health. And it's the hair loss treatments we're talking about today. The best thing about it all, it's all online. You visit the website, answer a questionnaire about your medical history, and receive a treatment recommendation. Your information goes to a specialist doctor on the platform, and from there, you're consulted on a specific treatment plan for your case. You receive the products at home on a recurring basis with a medical follow-up throughout. As you know, we always recommend Manual to you guys, but I also recommend Manual to my clients in the studio. Now we've actually got some on the shelf, so come and have a little look what we've got. So we've got the Power Shampoo, which I use on anybody who during the consultation tells you they're having some sort of hair loss problem. I will use this on them as well. We've got the all-in-one capsule too, which has got the minoxidil, 2.5 milligrams, plus finasteride, 1 milligram as well. We've got the hair vitamins, which I personally use myself. They strengthen, they help fortify the hair, and again, as you can see, they contain biotin and collagen, very similar to what the shampoo also contains with the biotin too, a very active ingredient for helping with hair loss. Then we've got the 10% minoxidil for topical use too. And also for season 2, anyone who comes onto the channel will also get these courtesy of Manual free of charge as well. And Manual have also been kind enough to offer you a discount to celebrate the series on the channel. Code's on the screen now, but it's also in the description in case you miss it. And the link to follow is also in the description. Click that to find out more about Manual and also the hair loss treatments. And thanks again to Manual for bringing the second series of Talking Hair Loss to the channel. Now, back to the video.
I have hair loss, as you can see, but I also take some medicaments, and especially minoxidil.
Okay, yeah.
So I hope that it will work because I was taught that this kind of treatment should work. And I was looking for photos of another guys who were able to deal with hair loss.
Oh, okay.
So I take it. I've been taking it from 3 or 4th months.
Nice.
And I will wait for the results.
Definitely.
I see just a few baby hairs around my hairline, but I expect to see more.
Yeah, of course. But the thing is, again, expectation is a cruel thing because it ruins the fun of everything, right? I try and live in a way, and I try and teach my kids this, is to not try and have too high expectations of people, places and things. Because if you go to a gig and you're thinking that is going to be the best concert of your life, and you get there, it's an amazing concert because you believed it'd be better, it's an awful concert. It's the same with haircuts, it's the same with treatments, it's the same with food, restaurants, everything, football matches, same with everything, right? If you can try and keep your expectations hopeful, you'll enjoy the end result. And that comes massively down to hair loss treatments. That you are hopeful that they work, but don't expect too much. Because if you don't get there, you might not appreciate what you've actually grown back. And it could be an amazing regrow. It's just that you expected more, you know?
I was watching your movies and could see guy with realistic expectations and with realistic point of your view and your work.
Yeah.
And of course that haircuts didn't look ideal, but that was the point, of course.
Yeah.
That was idea of your work to make realistic haircuts and not, for example, make some haircut which requires a lot of products, a lot of works every morning, because that makes no sense. I think for majority of customers, you must wake up 1 hour earlier than normal just to go to bathroom and comb your hair. So I think that the better idea is to make something that is easy to maintain and easy to manage.
And that doesn't necessarily mean you can't be trendy. You know, I think the beauty of this industry, right? The beauty of what we do, and the beauty of men's hair in particular right now, is that there's so much choice, there's so many trends, there's so many hairstyles, but there's also a lot of people who do things differently. Now, I don't claim to say I do the right way. I do what I believe is the right way, right?
But it works.
What I was taught.
But it works.
But it works for some, doesn't work for others, right? There's not everybody who's going to be happy with what I do, and that's okay. I can't please everybody, right? The main thing is that I try and do things with the person's morning routine in mind, right? Now, I look up to a lot of people in my industry who are extremely talented at certain haircuts, but the only thing for me is why I don't incorporate them techniques, for example, or why I don't incorporate them hairstyles, is because they are not, in my line of work, achievable every day. So if you think about what's realistic, what you can achieve, you will get the best haircut that you can manage.
Yes, of course.
It isn't. I'm not going to be there being able to do it for you. Now, here's where I taper the front out now. So clipper over comb, and I'm bringing this down. I'm going to straighten this off to start with, right? Now I'm going to straighten this off as it is. So I've tucked the middle bit down, and I'm cutting in the front. Don't worry, you will not have a straight line around your head when I've finished, okay?
I trust you.
Thank you, man. Famous last words, you know.
I trust you because I believe in your skills.
There we go.
Firstly, and secondly, I have no other choice.
Right, there we go. So there's one side, right?
Okay.
So there's that one little side there that we've kind of filled up. But you see by taking that middle bit down, it starts to level off a bit more, right?
Yes.
So it's never going to be down here. We're never going to be able to create something that's really low, but we can create something that's a lot fuller than what you have now. By taking somebody's front shorter, like we've done to yours, so by taking this bit here shorter, what this helps to do is look like a shorter hairstyle. So when you do have short back and sides, like a 1 or a 1.5, the top doesn't look as long compared to them.
Yes.
Because the visual representation of a short fringe is a buzz cut. So that's why I was saying to you before about doing something in between a buzz cut and a crop, is that this gives the impression that you've got a short head of hair because the fringe is gone. Because that's what a clipper cut does. The difference between a clipper cut and a crop is you take the fringe off.
And we are avoiding the V shape.
Yeah, I'm avoiding the V shape. Yes. Yeah, exactly that. I'm going to do this now with the scissors.
Close eyes or not?
Whatever's more comfortable for you. But
okay, I think that it will be okay. And now it looks straight.
Yes.
Just because of make it shorter.
Yep. In the right place though.
Yes.
So I didn't take these bits here shorter. I just took the middle shorter.
Yes.
But because
the middle is important.
Because it's graduated and it looks more natural that way, it doesn't look like it did when you came in. Now don't forget, we haven't even touched the back and side yet. So this whole haircut will change dramatically when the back and sides are cut in. Okay?
Of course.
And just point cutting at the root to create movement, leaving that crown out. And then a little bit of slide cutting, just to break that up a little bit. Just graduate that a bit more into the sides. Just like that. Now that's your texture done, right? That's as simple as that. Very minimal, but very effective. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to dry it off.
Okay.
And then I'm going to do the back and sides. All right.
I will close my eyes.
Fine by me. Now, anybody watching, any barbers watching, hairdressers watching, the temptation to cut that off is real. And we all know the temptation to do just to go right off the crown, but don't do it. Please don't do it. It looks so much better when it grows out. Now, I'm going to start off on the highest guard. Now, on this one here, I'm probably going to start with a 3, but I'm going to check what the length is before I do it. So this is my 3 guard, and we're going down to a 1.25. But I need to build this length here, right, to frame the face better. So I'm going to go over to here and see at what point the 3 starts to remove length. As you can see, from the base, it doesn't really take much off. As we get to here, it does. So I'm probably going to start on a 3.5 to start my blending point into this length. So Camille, when did you actually start to notice you had hair loss?
I noticed it, I think, 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay.
And I've started to take, for example, topical minoxidil, but for my own without speaking to doctor.
Okay.
And I think that that treatment allowed me to make it flow, this process of hair loss. But I think that half a year ago, it started to be faster, and I was thinking to make some other things to deal with.
Okay.
So after talking with my barber, I decided to go to doctor, to a specialist, and she told me that I should have minoxidil, but oral minoxidil, not just topical. And I've been taking it since October.
Nice.
I see little results, as I said before, baby hair, but I think that it should work in good way, and I expect that about March or April, those hair should look more thicker. So I think that I made a good decision with minoxidil. And what are your customers' experience with minoxidil?
My customers' experience with minoxidil is, on its own, it has mixed reviews on its own. When you team it up with finasteride, then obviously that's the ultimate, right? That's the best sort of formula. But
so combination minoxidil and finasteride.
Yeah, that's the sort of high performing combination. On a whole, though, I think a lot of people. I don't meet many people who get side effects. That's one thing. I don't meet many people. Okay, you obviously meet occasional, like get dry scalp if it's topical. A few other things like heart palpitations if it's orally.
Because I've been taking it from years, and I had any trouble.
That's good.
With, for example, itches or anything else.
That's great. That's great.
Yes.
But yeah, I think on a whole, though, a lot of people tend to be really, really pleased with the results. We do see a lot of results as well, you know, you do see a lot. I mean, obviously I do clientele off camera too, you know, in the studio and stuff, so I'm not documenting everybody on camera, you know.
Yes.
So it'd be hard to
your customers.
I don't think my clients would like it if I had a camera on them all the time, every time. So, but no, a lot of the results are very, very good.
Yes, and each customer has his own history.
Yes, exactly.
Life history about hair loss, because I think that actually people who don't suffer because of hair loss don't understand how bad it could be for your, for example, self-confidence and for your self-esteem.
Definitely. But yeah, obviously, you know, without having that traditional hair loss, because I work with a lot of people who do experience hair loss,
but fortunately,
I can kind of understand, you know, if that makes sense.
Fortunately, modern medicine has more solutions for hair loss than, for example, in generation of our fathers and grandfathers. Yes?
100%.
Is of course hair transplant.
Definitely. To some people, though, it's
thinking,
not.
But I don't want to do it right now.
Yeah.
Because I think that we can deal with it on other way. And okay. And I want to regrow maybe, I don't know, 20 or 30% of my hair which I lost in recent years. But I will have, I think, much satisfaction than from the hair transplant. I understand the guys who want to do it, because, for example, if any man is completely bald without any hair on top, it is a good reason to go to hair transplant. But if you have some hair left, it's good to try to regrow in other way.
Definitely. I think it's always worth trying the non-evasive treatments first, then trying something that is evasive, you know, like a hair transplant or something. Because the thing is, what a lot of people don't realise is that when you get a transplant done, they always recommend you go on the tablets anyway. Yes. So it's probably worth trying out the minoxidil and the finasteride to see if you have any allergic reactions, see if anything goes wrong with, you know, with the topical or whatever it may be. And then if you're okay with that and it works, you know, to whatever extent you want it to work to, then I think then it's, you know, if you are still in that situation where self-esteem is extremely low, you feel very self-conscious, you really do want to get your transplant done, at least then you know you are okay on the medication too.
I think that no one can escape minoxidil.
Yeah.
It's our duty as a man.
But no, I think it is always nice to see what they do for you, you know, especially if if you are somebody who is, you know, doesn't have any side effects, everything goes okay.
I don't see any side effects.
Yeah, well, I mean, some people can, some people have in the past,
yes.
You know. I think it solely depends on it. You know, if you're having other medication too, you know, if you're already on medication, that can sometimes kind of.
It depends on your other illness, for example.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Exactly that. So I think it's complicated.
It's not a simple process, of course.
Not always. Not for everybody.
Yes.
If it was, everyone would use it, wouldn't they? You know. So, but no, I think it's good that you found what works for you, and I think that's the main thing, right? Whatever works for you is obviously, you know, you're happy with, you seem very confident with, and I think that's all that really matters half the time. As long as you get what works for you. It's the same as people who go for transplants. I've got friends who have got hair transplants before they tried any of the medication. Even knowing me and knowing that I do this series, I work with, you know, I've partnered with Manuel. They still go straight into to get the hair transplant because they just feel that's their best option. And for some, it is. You know, I've seen a change in some people that was almost like it was life changing for them. You know, self-esteem, confidence.
Yes.
You know, just the ability to come out of the shell. It was amazing. It really was.
In some jobs, it's necessary to have a great hairline and great haircut.
Definitely.
For example, in media, on TV, or as a model.
Yeah, I think it's some people feel it a necessity if they spend a lot of time on social media too. You know, it's. Yes. You know, that's where it stems from a lot of the time, isn't it? Is making sure you look your best at every given moment on social media. So I've switched up to, I should talk to camera now, by the way, Camille, okay? So I'm just talking this bit to the camera.
Switch to camera?
So, yeah, I'm going to talk to the camera now, okay?
You gonna talk to the camera right now?
Yeah. So I'm not talking to you in this point now, okay?
Okay.
So I've switched up to my size 5 comb. I'm just doing some detailing around the hairline. What I'm going to do as well is just kind of detail these little bits here, just to strengthen it up a touch. So I'm not going to put like a harsh line in. I'm just going to start to look where the lighter hairs is and where the stronger part of the hairline is. And I'm just going to work these little bits away, like that. Because they're all just baby hairs, right? And the more baby hairs there are there, will kind of shallow the hairline. So I don't want to create a very sharp, drawn-on hairline, because that won't go with the look at all. I just want to make it strengthen a little bit. So I know this might sound like a sort of really silly question, but I ask everybody, how How did losing your hair, when you started noticing losing your hair, how did it make you feel?
I was not feeling too bad, I think, but after years, I was looking, for example, for my friends, from our peers, and I've noticed that they have much hair on their heads, and the hair is thicker and fuller. And I don't know how to describe this feeling, but I think that is jealous.
Okay,
because
that's
of fact that I had no as strong hair as they had.
Yes.
And that was the moment I've decided to fight with this process.
Okay.
But it was not drama or tragedy for me, because I think that our lives don't depend just on our hairstyle, of course.
No.
It's additional feature, but important feature, of course.
Well, I mean, if you read any of the comments that are made on our videos, especially our Talking Hair Loss videos, there's a lot of people that say, there's nothing wrong with being bald. There's nothing wrong with losing your hair. And I think that's true. I think there isn't anything wrong with it.
It's natural process.
Just a very natural process,
yes.
But if you ever want to reverse that natural process, which, because a lot of time it does make you feel low self-esteem, things like that, right? I get it, totally get it, right? There is an option out there for everybody,
of course.
And I think some people are affected more by it than others. So again, we're not here to say that so-and-so should be affected and so-and-so shouldn't be affected. It's whatever it makes you feel like. And it's just nice that there is an option out there to reverse that aging process of the hair, isn't it? That is the beautiful thing about it, is that we're not just limited to going bald anymore. It's not just we must accept it. We can accept we're losing our hair. That's a different story.
Yes, but I think that we should embrace maybe not process of hair loss, but process of reversing.
I think it's just nice to have options, isn't it? It's always a bonus and a positive to be like, do you know what? I don't want to lose my hair, so I've got an option to not lose it, right? And I think that is a really positive thing that manual and has helped, isn't it?
Modern medicine gives us some solutions.
Yeah.
So 100%. I think that it would be bad idea to reject them.
Is it looking better? Yeah.
Yes, of course. Fuller, thicker.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to sort of show the person who's cutting your hair this video and be like, or show the before and after, or let them watch it and follow this type of tutorial, then if you continue to get this same cut done, the hairline will strengthen up, the texture will become easier, the crown will sit a lot better as well. You won't have that worry with the crown sticking up, which is great. And it will just help you in a lot of different ways, face shape wise. It'll blend into your beard, it'll complement your face shape. So yeah, keep getting it cut where you get the fringe cut shorter, build it up the length behind the fringe, which is what we've started doing, and just keep this same kind of low 1.25 around the edges. And I think it's a really, really good look for you. But it was a good bit of teamwork today, Camille. I think you helped a lot, and I guided.
I hope, yes, of course.
Yeah, man.
And I think that now, after making my hairline straight, whole shape of head is better.
100%.
More regular.
100%. Yeah, definitely. But you can see now the symmetry in the haircut. Both sides are the same. So as this grows, you've got to remember, when you've got one side along the other, it doesn't grow slower here than here. It all grows at the same rate.
The same rate.
So that's why I was saying at the start that it doesn't last, is because that's growing out so much longer than everywhere else. There's nowhere to put it, right? So if you want something like this, and I'm not saying this is for everybody, but if you want something to work with your hairline like this, and you want something to have texture and a shorter fringe, you need connection and you need balance both sides. If you're trying to go for hair coverage, or you're trying to go for a hair loss remedy in a haircut, my pet hate is leaving loads of length from about here to cover this part here. Now I know in some cases you have to, but in a lot of cases you don't. And it ends up going from really long here, which then grows down this way, not forwards. So then you've got to consistently kind of like a jigsaw puzzle to make it sit straight. When there's a load more benefits and there's a more ways to do it if you just work with the hair grows. So I feel like maybe if you were to try it shorter, like this, may keep the same kind of length and whatever you like, and just build up on this shape more than leaving bits longer like a comb over, you'll find, and this probably works for a lot of guys watching as well, if you go for more of a balanced haircut and then literally look at the area that you've got the problem in. So say for example to the front, look at the area. So the front hairline here does not start back here. So you don't need to leave loads of length from here to cover here. You can leave length from here to cover here, like I've done on these haircuts, right? I haven't used length from here to cover the front there. Now, in some cases, if it's really, really high and really fine, you have to, but in the majority of cases, you don't have to. So if anyone's feeling like they've got that kind of really heavy one side, speak to your barber or your hairdresser and just say, is it necessary to keep all the length through here? Could we not keep it a bit longer from the back bit there? And just see what they say. They might go, oh yeah, of course, yeah. But it could just be something that was like kind of working at the time, so they didn't want to change it. It's one of those, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But just see, if you're struggling with that at home, see if you can just go for a little bit less length further back, and that might benefit as well. You never know. Right, that's it done. Happy?
Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm happy because now I see fuller and thicker hairline.
Yes.
And I haven't seen this since I think 2016.
Okay, amazing. Amazing.
Or 2017, doesn't matter. But I think that it is the best haircut, most natural haircut I ever had.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dan.
That's very
great. Great work.
Thank you very much. Now, what you do on the top, and you work it down. You're going to get a nice fuller finish from a powder or from something like this that will give you that much fuller texture in the haircut. Now, can you see by working that fringe shorter and then working the texture into it, look how much fuller your haircut looks straight away, right? So yeah, we can't do much about the height, but we can do something about the level, right?
It's more natural right now.
Much more natural, right? And then with the crown, we just have to grow this out a little bit. So I couldn't do too much with the crown, but I could definitely do something with the fringe. So we just kind of work with the crown, comb that into place, or brush that into place, and then just let it do its own thing on top. As you can see, now don't forget as well, you are under direct light here. So being light directly facing down always shows more separation. The minute you stand up away from direct light, it'll look completely different, okay? So there's the texture cut in, there's the finish of it. And now what you see from the side is really obvious.
Oh, of course.
Can you see how low down that bit of fringe was before? So it almost arched it right down.
It looked different, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there's the 1.25, just blended in. There's your crown starting to grow that bit out there. Let that work with the rest of the haircut.
And even the double crown looks, I think, good. Yes, of course.
A double crown is not the enemy, right? It's not something that people should just be kind of scared to work with, right? Haircuts like this, double crowns are brilliant to show off texture and movement. I think you've just got to be confident enough to work with them. And a lot of the time it comes with experience. You know, if you've done a lot of double crowns, you've done a lot of haircuts with people in your situation with, you know, very strong double crowns, you learn over time. But again, my way isn't always the correct way. It's just my opinion. So if
I think it's a very good haircut, and I will try to maintain it for daily basics.
Nice.
And as you said, I plan to go to London, maybe again to your company after 5 or 6 months.
Amazing.
When the hair will grow out.
Yeah, well, let's see how the medication works.
Of course.
You know, that could be a game changer. That could really change the kind of look that you're going for. You know, so
I believe in it.
Yeah, I agree.
Of course.
I agree. I think it'll work really well. Well, thanks, Camille.
Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Dan.
You're very welcome. You want to stand up for me?
Okay.
And I'd like you just to look at yourself at this back wall in the mirror. Look at it when the light's not directly above you. See how much darker and more natural the hairline looks now?
Darker, okay, darker.
Can you see?
Yes, okay. Because I usually used to look at my hairstyle as the receding hairline should be part of hairstyle. Okay. But now we are covering this poor hairline. Yeah. And I think that people who don't know my situation and my problems will not even notice that I'm balding.
No, not at all. Not at all. But the main thing I want you to see now is obviously under direct light, it looks more see-through than it does in reality. You know?
Yes.
So when you walk out of here, you're not going to have a fluorescent light bulb on your head, right?
Yes.
So you're going to have what you can see right now. So you, as you said yourself, it just looks like you've got a short haircut.
Yes, just short haircut.
Fairly straight hairline.
Yes.
You know?
Normal, straight.
Yeah.
regular.
No one has this kind of
without
hairline.
comb over or
Yeah.
slick back.
Exactly. No,
course.
you're not drawing attention to anything. It just looks like it suits you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Thank you, mate.
Dan.
Thank you very much.
Great
mate.
work.
Lovely to meet you, mate. Thank you. All the best.
It was my pleasure to
Yeah.
go to your company and to have a haircut with you. And I hope that we'll see again
Hopefully,
after,
mate.
for example,
Yeah.
Javier.
Yes,
in
definitely.
London.
If you can do it, that'll be great. But it's a pleasure. Thank you for sharing your story.
Thank
I know,
you.
and thank you so much for doing it in English because that must have been hard. And it was
My
very
English,
good.
My English is not perfect. I know it.
It's
but
better
I-
than my Polish, though.